Welcome to Lickin' on Lending, the podcast that dives deep into the heart of the mortgage industry. Your host, David Lickin, bringing you the latest insights, trends, and updates from the world of mortgages. Whether you're a seasoned industry veteran or just getting started, this show is your go-to source for all things mortgage. Let's get started. This is Lickin' on Lending. Now your host, David Lickin.
Listeners, I'm excited to have Scott Norman joining me. He is the president of the Texas Mortgage Bankers Association, and we're going to be talking about an upcoming event that you all need to really be thinking about coming to. So, Scott, welcome to the podcast. Good to have you here, friend.
Thanks for having me on. I've been a big fan of yours and the podcast for a long time, so to be able to be on is quite the honor.
I appreciate those kind words, and I appreciate so much what you're doing at the TMBA. But more importantly, the vision that you have for the trade association, the Texas Mortgage Bankers Association, but it's really being an example, Scott, what you're encouraging other state associations to do, and that is looking at the bigger picture, the 5-year objective. What is the purpose of each state association? Yes, it's to take care of the members, but you're thinking bigger. I love that you think like a strategic thinker and a thought leader. So it's good to have you here, and I want to get into the event, but give us an update on yourself. TMBA, how's everything going?
The TMBA is going great. So I took over as the CEO about a year ago and have really been very fortunate. Jody Morgan Cochran, who had been our president when I came on, was outstanding to work with. Aaron D. right now is our current president. And Aaron, I think almost everybody on the show probably knows of Aaron.
I've had her as a guest. She's amazing. Yeah.
Pam Jenkins and Nolan Turner are on our officer ladder. And so we've been really fortunate. And one thing that we really tried to focus on, we're a 100-year-old association, 108 years old. Matter of fact, this coming Friday is the 108th anniversary of our very first convention in Dallas, Texas, in 1917. So we feel like we've got a lot of responsibility to not just be a trade association and worry about what kind of chicken's being served at our conferences, but really, how do we really move the needle of home ownership in not only in Texas, but in the United States. And we're really fortunate to we've got a great board. We've got 30 people on our board. And we really have focused on the last year to do a couple of things. One, we really focused on membership. In a time where I think a lot of people are really concerned about membership, our membership is up over 25% in the last year.
Wow. That's
so
especially in these economic times where it's been a real difficult. Most mortgage lenders, mortgage bankers are really struggling. For you to have up 25% is a testimony to your leadership and vision. That's tremendous.
It's really it's a big team we've got. And we really try not to take advantage of who's going to get the credit. We're just trying to say, look, we just want to win and we want to move the needle. And we want this place, like I said, not to be an association, but a destination. And I think that kind of vision is something that people, not only in Texas, but around the country, are starting to look at us, because a lot of our new members are from outside of Texas.
Really?
And they really are. And so we've focused on that. Our PAC is almost 100% bigger than it was a year ago. Wow. So we're doing a lot of things that I think are trying to move the needle. Our overall engagement, as far as heads and beds, if you will, it's up almost 30%. over the last year. So the metrics we use, we feel very comfortable that the trajectory that we're on now and over the next 4 or 5 years will be something that will really make the Texas Mortgage Bankers Association really, hopefully, if we do our job right and we're humble about it, the preeminent mortgage bankers association in the country, but also really one of the premier really housing associations in the country. And that's really important to us, that we really work with people not just on the mortgage side. We've got home builders, we've got realtors, we've got title companies, we've got servicers. We've got some of the biggest servicers in the country that are our members. And we're really fortunate that we've got a very engaged board. We've got a very engaged membership. And it certainly helps that we're in Houston, Dallas, Austin, and San Antonio, which are really some of the fastest growing
bigger cities
in the country.
Tremendous.
So that helps.
Yeah, and Erin D is just amazing. I'm a big fan of her. I recognized her early on, years and years ago, and had her on the podcast, encouraged her into some speaking roles, and she stepped out. Man, watching her bloom. Also, Pam Jenkins. I've had the privilege of working with Pam, consulting to her in several places. So you got a great leadership ladder. But it really takes the administrative leadership, which you've brought, to really continue to drive this forward. Each one of them go in and out a year, and so you're the one that brings the consistency. And one of the things you talked about is bringing this to a destination, getting people to recognize a bigger picture. So let's talk about the event that I believe you came up with the idea of, Scott, and I think it's outstanding. It's the upcoming anniversary of one of our favorite organizations, HUD.
Sure. So part of President Lyndon Johnson's Great Society was really the creation of the Housing and Urban Development Act of 1965. This is the 60th anniversary, and the Texas Mortgage Bankers Association is really almost housed in the shadow of the LBJ Library. And about a year ago, we went to Markup to Grove and the LBJ Foundation with the thought of, why don't we try to put together a housing summit, bring the premier thought leaders from around the United States into Austin, Texas, help showcase the Texas Mortgage Bankers Association, showcase President Johnson's housing legacy, Austin, Texas, the LBJ Library, and really put together something that if you're from Houston, Texas, or you're from San Diego, California, or Miami, Florida, that you're going to look at what we have at our LBJ. It's our housing summit, our Texas Housing Summit, to say these are some of the real thought leaders that are going to talk about the issues that are going to face the mortgage industry, not only now, but over the next 4 or 5 years. And so when you look at the RSVP list we already have, we've got people from over 15 different states that have already RSVP'd, and we're still on our early bird stuff. We think that this is going to be something that every mortgage company, every servicer, every home builder, every realtor in the state of Texas, and really throughout the country should come, because we really think we've got something for everybody.
Yeah, you really do. And I think it's so significant that it was started here by Lyndon Baines Johnson 60 years ago, and we're going to have it at the library there at on the UT campus. Talk about what you have planned as far as the agenda. It's a packed agenda, and it goes all day long.
It is a one-day event. We're going to start at 8:30 in the morning, and we're going to go all the way until 5:30. We've got an amazing session about GSEs with Ed DeMarco. We've got Paul Romanowski, who's the CEO of D.R. Horton. We've got Bryant Montgomery coming. We've got Elena McCargo coming in, talking about kind of the politics of Washington, D.C. What are we doing today? We've got a session on M&A work. We've got a session on reverse mortgages. We've got a session just on the regulatory environment with some banks and mortgage companies. And we've got some people from the Texas Association of Realtors that are coming in to really talk about what are they working on, not only on the state side, but on the federal side. And so really almost wherever you fit within what I'll call the residential pyramid, we're going to have something that works for you. You can certainly go to our website, texasmba.org, and we've got a ton of information about our housing summit. But we think that this is going to be something that'll be very unique in the United States. I don't think anybody else is really putting on something as purely housing related as what we're putting on. And we're really excited. It's on November the 4th, which is a Tuesday. And so there's really not a lot.
Fly in Monday because it starts at 8:30. And then it goes
so
literally all day until 5:30. So it may be a 2-night stay in Austin. Not a bad place to stay, though. It's great.
It is not a bad place to stay, depending on your appetite. We've got barbecue, Mexican food, steaks. We've got a little bit of everything for everybody. As you said, it's at the LBJ Library, which is right on the campus of the University of Texas. It's right catty corner from Darrell Royal Memorial Stadium. So if you're a football fan, it's literally in the shadow of Memorial Stadium. And it's just, we think it's going to be a really big scene. President Aaron D. certainly will be there. She's going to be speaking. Pam Jenkins will be speaking. Nolan Turner on our side will be speaking. And we're like I said, we're trying to hit something for everybody. Good. And so wherever you fit within that residential real estate pyramid, there's really something for you. And I think that if you look at just the number of heads that we're expecting, we're very excited about what we're building. Certainly, we've got another 6 weeks to go, but we think that the trajectory we're on right now is going to lead to what we really believe. And I don't say this with any real arrogance, but I do believe that we're going to put together the premier housing summit in the United States this year.
Hi, everyone. If you're looking to level up your golf swing or your loan process, you can do both at MBA Annual in Las Vegas. Stop by the Byte meeting room and tune up your golf swing on our pro-grade golf simulator and receive personalized coaching from an 8-time winner of the PGA Best Junior Golf Coach Award. Test out your skills on golf courses from around the world. Don't worry, all skill levels are welcome, so have fun with it. While you're there, check out the all-new next-generation Byte LOS platform and see why over 97% of lenders using Byte say they would recommend it to their peers. Visit bytesoftware.com/MBA25 to register for your turn in our golf simulator or stop by the Byte room on level 4. See you in Las Vegas.
That's outstanding. Another good reason to go is you're going to get a chance to meet some dignitaries, significant ones. Brian Montgomery, dear friend, will be there speaking, but some others will be there. So I think someone's saying, this is a celebration of a very large but ancient old organization. Why do I really need to be there? But I think it's really important. Add to that why they should be there.
Certainly, we're going to celebrate the 60th anniversary of the Housing and Urban Development Act, but this is really going to be, that's really just a small piece of that puzzle. The bigger piece is Joe Gormley's going to be there. Matt Turner's going to be there. We really think this is going to be a deep dive, a truly educational conference. It's not going to be a lot of fluff. There's not going to be a lot of balloons. There's not going to be a lot of cupcakes. This is going to be something that we really think is going to be beneficial to, if you're a first-year loan officer or if you're a C-suite person on the servicing side.
That's a great
we
point.
think that there's going to be something for everybody. And our goal is really, we've got really one primary goal. Did you come and go, and did you learn something you didn't know before? And did you meet somebody that you needed to meet? Because we also think some of the networking opportunities are going to be pretty premier, because we think the people that are going to be not only our speakers, but those that will be in attendance are going to be pretty significant. And like I said, you can go to the website, texasmba.org, and get a list of all of our speakers. But yeah, it is a celebration. It is a housing summit in the purest sense. And so we really think that, if, like you said, if you're in the mortgage industry in the United States, we believe it's really a can't miss opportunity for you to really hear, what's going on. Now, a lot can happen in the next 6 weeks in housing. It's a pretty fascinating time to be in the housing summit, housing side. If you're talking about GSEs, if you're talking about servicing, you're talking about interest rates, you're talking about where are we going to be with Fannie and Freddie next year, maybe this year. There's a lot to really be discussed, and we think that the speakers we're having are going to give you a kind of a behind-the-scenes approach of what is really going on in Washington, D.C., what's really going on in the state houses. Certainly, Texas just finished our legislative session,
right?
But this is going to be a little bit of a federal issue, and the celebration is really something that's nice because we have an opportunity to partner with the LBJ Foundation, and that's just a very unique venue to be able to come and be in a presidential library, talk about housing. And certainly, while it may honor President Johnson, and look, a lot of the people that may be coming, certainly they may have been born after President Johnson passed away. And so it's not that. It's really more of a kind of a see and be seen, but more importantly, we're trying to educate you. We're trying to put everybody that comes in a position where they really learned. Whatever you think, we really think that one of our sessions or two of our sessions or 5 of our sessions, because like you said, it's all day. It's all day from 8:30 to 5:30 on Tuesday, November the 4th. We think it's going to be a pretty great deal, and you'll be there as well. So we're excited to have you there.
I'm looking so forward to being there. And one of the things that I think we need to stress here, this is not one of those things you can register on site. One of the requirements of the library is that they had all the registrations decided in advance. So you must register in advance. Is there anything we need to say more about that, Scott?
Yeah, no, that's a great point. Since it is a presidential library, there are a lot of protocols that go with the presidential library because it's the LBJ Foundation, it's the LBJ Library, it's the National Archives. There's a lot to hosting a conference there. And so you have to register before, and you can just go to our website, and you don't have to be a member. So we've got members, non-members, it's all the same price. And we think the price point of it is pretty low and pretty significantly beneficial. But that's texasmba.org. You can go there and you can register, but you do need to indeed register in advance. But if something happens and you show up the day of, we'll figure out a way to get you in for sure.
Maybe out in the parking lot, registration out in the parking lot. But
well, certainly seating is limited. So that's the other part about this.
That's the other thing. Yeah, there is. And there's going to be a lot of people wanting to attend this thing, especially as the word gets out. Scott, this is really exciting. Again, I'm really excited about the leadership you're bringing, not only to Texas, but actually to all the state associations across the nation. We need to have healthy, vibrant state associations. And what you're bringing to TMBA is just really refreshing. And I hope many others out there, I'm thinking of Susan out in California, Joanna Mizuraka, dear friend up in Michigan. They all bring good leadership. But you're upping the game for all of them. I think it's really good. Thank you so much. Appreciate what you're doing for our industry, for the state of Texas, and for the mortgage bankers here, and actually for the whole housing market. Thank you, Scott.
David, thank you. And thank you for having me on. I'm looking forward to seeing you in Austin, Texas on Tuesday, November the 4th.
We'll be there. Looking forward to it. Thank you, Scott.
Thank you.
Folks, this podcast was made available by our sponsors. I want to thank Byte Software, First Close, Angel AI, True, Candid, the Mortgage Bankers Association of America, Lenders One, Modex, Redder, Mortgage Advisory Tools, and Fuel. If you like this podcast, be sure to share it with others. It is so important that we get as many people to register for this event as possible. Thank you.
You've been listening to Lykken on Lending. Our passion is to bring you the latest insights, trends, and updates from the world of mortgages. So on this show, if you're a seasoned industry veteran or just getting started, it's your go-to source for all things mortgage. We hope you've enjoyed the show. We'll be back soon. Take care, and we'll see you next time on Lykken on Lending.